Xin Chao, I'm Dustin,
And I'm Natalie Ngoc.
and welcome to the second installment of our three-part series where we travel across Vietnam.
At the end of our last video, we were boarding a Levy Trans train headed for Hue in central Vietnam.
So we opted for the overnight train because we thought it would be a little more economical than paying for airfare and staying at another hotel, and we thought it would be a fun experience.
Yeah, train tickets were only $68 US. However, never again.
Our train departed from Hanoi at 7:30 p.m. and arrived in Hue at 8:48 a.m. the next morning.
The train ride was a little bit long. It wouldn't have been so bad if our cabin wasn't so tiny, which made it very uncomfortable. The beds were hard, and it was borderline claustrophobic for 4 people. Summer camp on wheels.
The beds were super uncomfortable. I didn't get much sleep at all that night, especially after seeing a little roach above my bed.
Ew. Good thing we decided to grab a bottle of wine at the train station before we departed. We cracked open the bottle of wine and immediately started getting drunk. We pretty much got drunk, played games, and laughed all night. We started with the Huda beer and ate the banh mi that we got earlier that evening at Banh Mi Hai Nam for only $1.10. The bread was a little too soggy for my taste. I think we waited a little too long to eat it. I feel like Vietnamese sandwiches need to be eaten right away, not 2 hours later on an uncomfortable train.
So we were chilling in our compartment playing concentration.
What's concentration?
Concentration Operation Indochina United Nation. Category is cereal, Frosted Flakes,
Captain Crunch,
Kicks,
Rice Krispies,
Tricks,
Count Dracula,
Blueberry,
Berry Kicks,
Frosted Mini Wheats,
Special K.
Honey Bunches of Oats.
Did you already say Apple Jacks?
No, I don't think so.
Okay, well there's Apple Jacks.
Fruit Loops,
Corn Pops.
Rice Krispies.
I already said one.
Damn.
You lose.
So yeah, we were just chilling in our compartment, playing concentration, when a train attendant with a cart of balut stopped by our door.
Balut is a developing bird embryo that is boiled and eaten from the shell. And since Dustin had never tried balut before, we decided to get him one.
Roll the clip. Xin chao everyone. I'm on a Livitrans train from Hanoi to Hue with my friend Ngoc, and we just got some balut for 8,000 dong.
Also known as Jung Beet Loan.
And I've never eaten this before, and I'm about to try it for the very first time. So first I'm gonna take a sip of the juice. And now, I guess I'll eat it. Stop, I'm scared.
Put it in your mouth. Yeah, the white part's kind of hard.
Don't eat the white part?
You can. People eat it. Just
Not.
eat it.
Oh my god.
Alright, you eat the yellow.
Oi, choy, oi.
You eat the yellow, I'll eat the white part.
Okay.
Yeah, the yellow.
Eat the white part.
It's really hard. Really tastes the essence of the bird.
And here I go eating the yolk. Yummy. Aunt's turn.
Hell no.
Okay, I'm gonna eat a piece of the bird with a little bit of yolk.
And I want to drink this beer. Here's the moment of truth. I'm about to feed Dustin the head of the duck. Non, bois. Drink popular delicacy in the Southeast Asian countries, especially Vietnam
And the Philippines. Time for today's Vietnamese word of the day. And today it's
Trung Vịt Lộn,
Jun Vịt Lộn.
which is
Balut. Let's say it together.
Trung Vịt Lộn. Một cái thôi à?
2 cái đi chia nhau mà ăn.
25 hả?
25.000 một cái.
Hả?
25.000 một cái.
10. 10?
250.
250.
Yeah, 250.
Oh, 250.
No, I think 250.
250.
Oh, no. Một cái thôi. Một cái thôi.
Một cái
Một cái
thôi.
thôi, yeah, một cái thôi. Không có được. As we waited patiently for our train to arrive in Hue, I made accommodations with stop and go tours to pick us up in Hue and take us to Hoi An.
So our tour guide Ju Young picked us up from the train station. It was raining. He drove us to the stop and go office to finalize the details of our tour. It cost us $265 US to have a personal tour guide drive us around central Vietnam for 2 days, which is a bargain when you divide that by 4 people.
Our first stop was Dong Bom Market, and what an experience that was. We were accosted the minute we stepped foot in that mall. There was like heaps of shrimp paste. If you love shrimp paste, this is the place to go for that.
It was extremely overwhelming, I would say. There's like so much everywhere and we were very short on time.
But yeah, it was
So we were looking
intense.
for bun bo hue, which is a traditional
a traditional beef noodle soup that originates in Hue. It's a very pared down version, very simple version of bun bo hue. It was just beef, noodle, and soup.
But then she kept bringing these other dishes to the table and we're like, what's going on here?
Yeah, we were very confused as to what we signed up for. And later we found out that that's the market for all the touristy people and that locals go somewhere else.
Our next stop was the Imperial City, a walled enclosure within the citadel of the city of Hue. The Imperial City of Hue was a walled fortress that protected the royal capital of Vietnam's Nguyen dynasty from 1802 to 1945. Built in 1362, this historical complex is known for its rich architecture and beautiful landscaping. When we first arrived, we watched a short video about the history of the citadel.
Then we explored and took photos around the grounds.
But first I thought it would be fun to play tourist and get dressed up in the traditional Vietnamese royal garments and take a photo.
Hi, Dustin. Emperor Dustin. Xin chào.
Xin chào.
We ended up at Hang Me Me with a recommendation from YouTube. We were looking for dishes that originated in central Vietnam.
The first dish we tried was banh bao, which is
A rice flour cake that's steamed and topped with dried shrimp and crispy pork belly, which is served with a fish sauce,
and then we had some banh ramit,
which is a rice dumpling that usually has pork belly, mung bean, dried shrimp, and it's placed on top of a fried rice flour cake. And lastly, we had bánh bột lọc, which is my personal favorite. It is a tapioca dumpling that's typically filled with shrimp and pork and wrapped in a banana leaf.
For dessert, we had jea bap, sweet corn pudding.
We left Hue and headed towards Hoi An. The first pit stop was Langko Beach. As you can see from these photos, there wasn't much of a beach due to it being off-season. We then stopped at Hai Von Pass. The views were breathtaking.
The next stop was the Marble Mountains in Da Nang.
The Vietnamese word for Marble Mountain is Ngu Hun Sun, which means 5 elements mountain. And the 5 elements are
Water, fire, wood, earth, and metal.
So this concludes the first part of our Central Vietnam series.
Join us next time when we explore Hoi An, the city of lanterns. Thanks for watching!
If you like this video, please give it a thumbs up.
And don't forget to subscribe to my channel. This video was brought to you by Terrarium Kits, DIY air plant mini gardens that are fun and easy to assemble. Each kit contains all the supplies needed to create a fabulous terrarium for your home or office. Use code YouTube for 15% off.
This video was also brought to you by Comme de Kush, an online retailer that specializes in cute pins and merch for the cannabis enthusiasts. Use code YouTube15 for 15% off. Shimmy, shimmy.